Ladies and gentlemen, there is a great deception in the world, one that teaches that power must be loud, forceful, and aggressive, that to conquer one must strike first, speak louder, and move faster. But wisdom knows better. The strongest warriors are often the quietest, and the most lasting victories are not won in battle, but in the careful unfolding of time. If you must face opposition, do not seek revenge with reckless hands. Instead, wield these 7 silent but deadly weapons. Mastery over oneself is the greatest triumph. It is a truth that few understand, yet it holds the power to shape destinies. The world teaches us that victory is found in overpowering others, in silencing opposition, and in ensuring that our voices rise above the rest. But true victory, the kind that cannot be stolen or undone, is found in mastering the only thing within our control: ourselves. There is no greater weakness than a man who is ruled by his emotions. Anger, pride, fear, envy, these are the chains that bind even the most outwardly powerful individuals. A man can have wealth beyond measure, authority over nations, or influence over thousands, but if he is easily provoked, if his peace is dictated by others, he is not free. He is a puppet, his strings pulled by those who understand his weaknesses. He may strike first in battle, he may roar the loudest in the room, but he is not the master, he is the slave. Consider the power of restraint. The one who can endure insult without retaliation, who can stand firm while others lose control, who can remain steady when all around him is chaos, he is the one who holds true power. The world watches such a person with awe, for he cannot be shaken, cannot be manipulated, and cannot be defeated in the way lesser men are. His enemies will throw their worst at him, expecting a reaction, waiting for him to falter, but they will find nothing. He will not break, he will not be moved. This does not mean silence in the face of injustice, nor does it mean surrender to wrongdoing. It means the wisdom to choose one's battles, the strength to walk away from pointless conflict, and the discipline to channel one's energy where it truly matters. The man who has mastered himself does not waste words on those who seek to provoke him. He does not make choices in moments of heated emotion. He does not seek revenge on those who are beneath his purpose. He knows that true power lies in control, and he wields it with precision. There will always be those who seek to challenge, provoke, or undermine, but they have no power over the one who refuses to give them any. He is not controlled by their words, nor does he allow their actions to dictate his course. He moves with intention, with wisdom, and with clarity. Where others react, he strategizes. Where others rage, he remains composed. And in doing so, he renders his enemies powerless. Mastery over oneself is not an easy path. It requires patience, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to growth. But once attained, it is unshakable. The world may rise and fall, voices may scream for attention, tempers may flare, but the one who has conquered himself will stand unbothered, untouchable, and victorious in the only battle that truly matters. Speak less, observe more. The world is filled with noise, endless chatter, impulsive reactions, and words spoken without thought. People reveal more than they realize, often exposing their weaknesses, fears, and intentions in their rush to be heard. But power does not belong to the one who speaks the loudest. It belongs to the one who listens, who watches, who gathers knowledge while others waste their breath. Silence unsettles the unwise. Those who seek control often rely on provoking reactions, testing boundaries, and baiting their opponents into revealing their strategies. A person who speaks too soon gives away their position, allowing those around them to manipulate or undermine their course of action. But the one who listens, who remains patient, who withholds their thoughts until the right moment, this is the one who holds the true advantage. In conversations, those who rush to respond are often more focused on their own voice than on understanding what is being said. They miss details, overlook hidden meanings, and fail to recognize the intentions behind words. A careful observer, however, sees beyond the surface. They catch the hesitation in someone's tone, the inconsistency in their statements, the truth hidden between the lines. Words can deceive, but body language, patterns, and actions reveal far more. A person who cultivates silence is feared. People become uneasy in the presence of someone who does not reveal their every thought, who does not seek validation through constant speech. They begin to wonder, what does this person know? What are they thinking? What power do they hold that they do not feel the need to announce it? The unknown is always more intimidating than the obvious. A person who speaks less is often assumed to know more, to understand things beyond what is being said. This practice is not about withholding wisdom or refusing to communicate. It is about the strength to control one's words, to choose when to speak and when to remain silent. It is about understanding that not every battle is won through argument, that not every challenge requires an immediate response. Sometimes the greatest move is simply to wait, to let the truth unfold, to allow others to reveal themselves first. Many have fallen because they trusted their words to the wrong ears. They spoke too soon, confided in the undeserving, or exposed their weaknesses through careless speech. But the observer, the listener, the one who measures every word before it is spoken, they do not suffer such losses. They gain knowledge while giving none away. They adapt while others remain predictable. They wait while others rush to their downfall. There is great strength in restraint, the ability to withhold when others feel compelled to speak, to remain composed when others seek to provoke, to let others reveal themselves while you remain unreadable. This is a power few possess. The observer, the listener, the silent strategist is always 10 steps ahead, simply because they have taken the time to see what others were too distracted to notice. Patience is a weapon. The world moves in haste, rushing toward results, demanding immediate gratification and fearing the discomfort of waiting. But time is a force that cannot be controlled, and those who learn to wield it, rather than fight against it, gain an advantage that others overlook. The impatient act on impulse, exposing their weaknesses, making decisions without foresight, and often destroying themselves in their desperation for quick victories. The patient, however, understand that true power is not in speed, but in timing. There is a reason why the strongest trees take years to grow, why the most unshakable foundations are built slowly, why the greatest strategies unfold over time. Anything that comes too easily, too quickly, is rarely strong enough to last. Impatience leads to reckless choices, to unnecessary conflicts, to wasted energy on things that will not matter in the long run. The one who waits, who watches, who moves only when the time is right, this is the one who cannot be defeated. Enemies destroy themselves when left to their own devices. Those who seek to harm, deceive, or manipulate often rely on an immediate reaction. They provoke, hoping for a reckless response. But when they are met with patience, when their actions are ignored, when they are forced to wait for the outcome they desire, they begin to unravel. They expect retaliation, but none comes. They hope for anger, but receive silence. They become consumed by their own schemes, tangled in the very traps they set for others. Time turns their own actions against them. Patience is not passivity. It is not weakness, nor is it surrender. It is a calculated decision to move when the conditions are in your favor, not when emotions demand it. It is the wisdom to hold back, to let things play out, to allow the natural course of events to reveal what must be done. The patient do not waste effort fighting unnecessary battles. They do not chase after every minor insult, nor do they react to every challenge thrown their way. They choose when to act, and when they do, it is with precision and certainty. The world belongs to those who understand that time is their ally. While others rush toward temporary victories, the patient builds something unshakable. They understand that some wars are won without ever raising a hand, that some battles resolve themselves without intervention. The fool exhausts himself in constant motion, mistaking activity for progress. The wise remain still, calculating, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, or choosing to let time do the work for them. Patience exposes truths that haste would have overlooked. It reveals the real nature of people, exposes hidden intentions, and allows the unworthy to reveal themselves through their own impatience. Those who act too soon often regret it. Those who wait, observe, and move only when necessary rarely find themselves in a position of regret. The one who wields time as a weapon does not need to chase victory. It comes to them. Control over emotions is control over destiny. The world is full of people who believe power is in force, in domination, in making their presence known. But true power is quieter, deeper, and far more difficult to master. It is the ability to remain unmoved while others are shaken, to think clearly when others are blinded by rage, to stay focused when the weak give in to distraction. The one who controls their emotions controls their actions, and the one who controls their actions determines their future. Emotions are neither good nor bad in themselves. They are signals, messengers, telling us what we value, what we fear, what we desire, but they are not meant to be rulers. A person led by emotions is unpredictable, unstable, easily manipulated. They react instead of respond, allowing the moment to dictate their choices rather than their own reason and principles. Anger provokes them into fights they do not need to fight. Envy blinds them to their own path. Fear paralyzes them when they should move forward. Impulse pushes them toward destruction disguised as urgency. There is nothing more dangerous to an enemy than a person who cannot be provoked. When an opponent expects fury and is met with calm, when they seek to frustrate but find only patience, when they try to shake the ground beneath someone's feet and instead encounter an immovable foundation, they lose control of the battle before it even begins. Take that away and they have no leverage. Control is not suppression. It is not pretending emotions do not exist, nor is it denying their presence. It is the ability to acknowledge them without being ruled by them. It is looking at anger and choosing whether or not it deserves a response. It is feeling fear and still stepping forward. It is experiencing frustration without letting it dictate words or actions. The strongest person is not the one who feels nothing. It is the one who feels deeply, but is not controlled by what they feel. The ability to stay calm under pressure is not something one is born with. It is something one must build. It is trained in moments of small discomfort, in choosing patience when irritation rises, in holding back words that serve no purpose, in refusing to act on emotions without thought. It is strengthened in adversity, in learning that suffering does not have to mean surrender, that hardship does not have to mean defeat. Over time, this control becomes second nature, and where others crumble under pressure, the composed stand firm. A life ruled by emotion is a life without direction. A person who cannot control themselves will always be controlled by something, whether by their own weaknesses or by those who understand how to exploit them. But the one who governs their own mind, who chooses response over reaction, who remains unshaken in the face of provocation, this is the one who cannot be mastered by anyone but themselves. Mastering the art of invisibility is mastering the art of power. The world teaches that strength is in being seen, in making noise, in standing at the center of attention. But the greatest moves are made in silence, the strongest positions are held in the shadows, and the most unshakable power belongs to the one who controls what others perceive. To be unseen is to be unpredictable. To be unpredictable is to be untouchable. It is man's duty to be untouchable. It is man's duty to be unpredictable. 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 Enemies rely on knowing their opposition. They study movements, search for patterns, look for weaknesses that can be exploited. The more visible a person is, the easier they are to predict. When thoughts are openly shared, strategies publicly declared, and intentions made obvious, the enemy has every tool needed to disrupt, delay, or destroy progress. The one who moves unseen, however, denies this advantage. Their steps cannot be tracked, their motives remain unknown, and their actions strike before anyone has time to counter them. The world underestimates those it cannot define. People grow comfortable with the predictable, with those who speak their every thought and act according to expectation. But when someone refuses to be read, when they do not reveal their emotions, when they do not expose their plans, they create an aura of mystery that unsettles even the most confident opponent. Doubt begins to creep in. Hesitation replaces certainty. The unknown is always more terrifying than the known. A hidden force is far more dangerous than one that can be measured. To remain unseen is not to remain inactive. It is not a passive existence, nor is it withdrawal from the world. It is moving with intelligence, revealing only what serves a purpose, ensuring that what is known is only what one chooses to be known. It is speaking less but saying more, acting without announcing, appearing only when necessary, and vanishing before others have understood what has happened. It is taking away the ability of others to anticipate, to interfere, to obstruct. The greatest victories are won before the battle begins. Those who see every detail of their opponents while revealing nothing of themselves hold all the power. When movements are hidden, enemies strike at ghosts. When plans are kept in silence, opposition is always too late to react. While others waste their energy proving themselves, making noise, seeking validation, the unseen move forward, achieving without permission, succeeding without interference. Invisibility is not cowardice, it is control. It is choosing when to be seen and when to remain in the background. It is understanding that power is not in proving strength, but in ensuring strength is never compromised. It is the ability to move without resistance, to build without disruption, to win before the world even realizes a battle has begun. The unseen are not weak. They are the architects of outcomes, the creators of fate, the ones who dictate the course of events, while others remain unaware of the forces shaping their world. Power is not always in force, nor in loud declarations, but in mastery of self, time, and strategy. The silent but deadly ways to take down your enemies are not about destruction, but about control, of emotions, patience, and perception. Those who act with wisdom rather than impulse, who move unseen yet with purpose, who remain unshaken while others falter, are the ones who always hold the upper hand. Victory is not won by those who seek to dominate openly, but by those who understand the art of quiet, calculated power. The strongest are not the loudest, they are the most disciplined.